All right, we'll just melt down the next 1,000 ounces worth of gold, and whoa! We can fly? Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to the Nighthawk Parcel. We're of course back in Gold Rush today, looking to get a little bit more gold out of the ground. Now, it's been a little while since we played. It's got to be pushing probably a month actually since I booted this up to jump in and do some more digging. But I did do a little bit of prep work before this video because the last time we were digging way out here in where we had that high concentration of gold in the ground, but we had trouble reaching the bottom. So in the last video, we dug a little ramp down there so we could try to get our excavator down low enough we could actually pull the dirt out of the ground. Now, actually, where's my... I think my dump truck's over here right now. I had to widen that ramp a little bit, but we did manage to get down low enough. And now we have access to all that wonderful dirt that's like right down near the bottom. So I've got the truck all backed in here, but this is the hole that we'd been digging before. And this area down just in the very bottom was out of the reach of the excavator because we were parked up top there. If I parked down lower, I couldn't reach across to the depths anyway. So this ramp now that I've made a little bit wider will serve as our means to get access to all the wonderful gold that's sitting at the bottom there. If we check in the gold map where we've done our drilling, these are the sections I'm working on right here. 236 and 237 are the ones right now that I'm trying to get access to. I think we'll start with 236 probably. So that will highlight this area right in here, and you can see, I mean, there's a fair amount of dirt there. It's hard to tell exactly how deep this goes, but when we look at the gold on the map for that particular area, you can see that there's got to be at least 3 meters worth of it, and it's pretty rich stuff at like 5 ounces per meter squared, or meter cubed rather. And we still have all these other sections to deal with also that go down to like 13 meters, but those are like kind of like right next to me. So this section here has looks like about 5.8 meters left of dirt on 237, and that's got some pretty rich stuff also. So we're gonna dig all those out today. Actually, that's the square that I'm standing on right now. So this section here we'd have to dig out. I think I'm stuck. There we go. It's still a little funky sometimes with little bumps in the ground, particularly when you've been digging. But actually, I'm gonna highlight the area that we were just working on now. Oops, toggle that on. There we go. Okay, so that's where we want to dig. Let's see what we can do to reach in here. And I think I have the dump truck parked in a place where we can load into it, but I'm gonna have to check that also. Let's make sure we can get the... Oops. Make sure we can get the bucket around here. It's gonna be a tight fit. I mean, you can see we just barely have the clearance there. But this should give us the room to get the dirt in. That's a bit of a tight fit. Maybe I should bring the dump truck back a little bit more. Just gotta be careful that I don't bring it so close that I can't really extend the bucket out to actually reach into the back of this thing. I'm hoping we can have a really, really massive clean out today. It would be wonderful if we could pay for this. Whoops, I didn't mean to get out. But if we could pay for the claims so that we don't have to pay that crazy royalty fee. There we go. That'll do, I guess. That gets us a little closer. Because it's like something like Nighthawk Valley, something like 40 or 45% royalty for renting it. That's just exorbitant. I mean, even in Gold Rush, it was bad at 20%. This one's for like 40 or 45, whatever it is. But this should give us the reach that we need. Hopefully, I haven't tested this yet, so I mean, I'm assuming that this is going to be fine. Oh, okay. This dirt here is a little bit of it's almost like overburden that I had to kind of stick there as I was making the path. And a little ramp there to work on. That's like the perfect reach here, actually. Okay, so as we dig up some of this, right? Oh, there we go. Now we're getting to that rich stuff. So it's nice how the box sort of toggles color based on the richness of the soil you're getting a hold of there, the gravel, I guess. This actually worked out perfectly. I can just swing the bucket over top too, which is pretty cool. Give me all that good, rich gold. We need to get wealthy. It's something like $2.5 million or something we have to pay off this claim. I think it was something in that range anyway. So right now we're just renting, but I don't want to keep paying that royalty if we can avoid it and put more money in our own pocket. All right, that's our first dump truck load full. Can't really tell exactly how much we dug out there, but I still don't see the bedrock, so obviously we'd get down at least 3 meters. Let's get this shut down. We'll take the dump truck over and unload our first haul from our gold-rich hole of dirt, ground stuff. I don't know, whatever. It's the new pit. It's the money pit. We're digging gold for the money pit. I have to get all the plant turned on and stuff, too, because it's actually all sitting idle. I do have a little bit of dirt in it, so we've got like 10% in the mats or something right now, because just from digging that ramp, I thought, you know, why just ditch all the dirt when we can run it? Gas costs in this game and, you know, general maintenance costs and stuff aren't the same as in real life, so even though we're probably not going to get a ton out of that little 10% that's in the mat there, it can't hurt to run it, I guess. Alright. I'm going to jump out of here and turn all this stuff on before I dump it. Pump's got fuel. That's a plus. Where's the little cord? There we go. Alright, that's running. We're going to turn on the generator and smack out all these crazy buttons. Come on. That's a weird angle. Conveyor belt, conveyor belt container, reinforced trommel, our 2 gravel pumps. I think that's it. We're ready to run. Okay, oh yeah, it's an R to dump. Man, it's been a little while. I gotta remember what the controls are. Alright, there's our first load in there. Oops, accidentally turned the engine off. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Alright, to get this position back, we'll get some more gold in the bucket. I can't remember how many loads we have to actually take to get this thing filled up, but hopefully not too crazy many. I want to do a cleanup and find out what we're getting for this gold. I mean, we're talking about, you know, 5 ounces per meters cubed or whatever. I don't really know what that translates into once we fill up the mats. I mean, it'd be pretty sweet if we actually managed to draw enough gold out of the ground to pay off the whole claim right away. That'd be amazing. I think I still have a loan outstanding too, so I gotta be cautious of that. We only have about $56,000 for operating costs though, so it's gonna be some pretty steady work to get this all going. Oops, gotta zoom out a little bit. There we go. Some steady work to get all this going so that we can actually get what we need to. Well, this is the hole that just seems to keep going on forever. I'm trying to work my way through to China, I think, but we did finally dig deep enough to get to where the bedrock is. So I've taken, I think 6 dump truck loads out, and this is the 7th one I have loaded up. And I can finally see bedrock down there. And actually, I can kind of see it clipping through a little bit there, too. So actually, I wonder if there's a little rise there right on the other side. Nevertheless, we did manage to find where the bottom is, so you can see just how much dirt there still is to pull out. I mean, that's after 6 full dump truck loads. I'm really hoping this dirt will be as rich in gold as I think it is, because I haven't seen any other gold on my claim or anywhere else, I think, that has this much in it. So, you know, with 7 dump truck loads out of this one hole that's still, like, right at the bottom, where all the really good stuff is, I feel like this should be just an enormous cleanup. Now we're only, even after 7 dump truck loads, well, it's 6, I guess. Right here, we're at, it's hard to read, 47% or so on the mats. So we've got like another half a dozen or so loads to dump in here before we'll even be at a point where we can do a cleanup and get a full cleanup out of it. And as long as I'm up here, I should probably refuel that water pump because it looks like it's just about out. You deal with. I'm just gonna let that get a go. Let's go find our pickup truck. I can't remember where I parked it. Uh-oh, where did I leave the truck? Oh my gosh, all the way back here at the tent. So, I still have yet to find a use for this Frankenstein machine, too. I think there's a couple of spots, if I check on the gold map. Yeah, there's a couple spots here that are a little bit closer to the, a little bit closer to the wash plant. Ooh, that one's actually pretty rich right there, but it's right on the edge of things, so there's probably not going to be a whole lot to get out of there. That's got about 3 meters worth. This one looks like it's got about 6 meters worth. So there's a couple spots here that are fairly rich that we might actually be able to set the Frankenstein up there. The trouble is going to be, I mean, it's big, but it's not really big enough to extend too far out into the claim. So it might actually be too big to make any sense to use close by, but not big enough to make sense using farther out. I mean, it's a cool toy and all, but I don't know how much use I'm ultimately going to get out of it. It may have just been a complete waste of money, but I really did want it just because, well, you know, boys and their toys. Man, my shadow was flying on the wall there. Okay, I'm just going to pop the truck down here. We're going to need it down this way anyway. Oh, okay, so that's where the spot is on the map there that I had clicked off. Hold on, let's check that again. So if we look right in here, there's some good gold right in this space. Where is that marked out? All right, so that might work pretty well. I don't think it's going to be quite big enough to reach all the way from where I need to dig it to actually put it directly into the wash plant, though, which sort of defeats the purpose of having it again. I don't know. We'll see. Tell me this has got fuel in it. It's got a little bit. Perfect. That's refueled. We're in a position now to keep digging. I think we're just going to work right through the night. Visibility kind of stinks as it gets really dark. But it's not too bad. There's always a little bit of light. I think we're on the last dump truck load of dirt that we can send over to the wash plant before we'll be ready to do a cleanup. As you can see, we've gotten down to a fair bit of the bedrock here. It takes quite a bit to dig this out. I think I must have sent, it's got to be, I don't know, 10 or 12 truckloads, I think, already over to the wash plant. I wasn't exactly counting, but it's got to be at least that. It feels like I've been digging here forever. But there was quite a bit of dirt that was still below the line of where we had dug before in order to get down to the bedrock. And that was kind of where all the good gold was sitting, just above that bedrock layer. Which makes sense, I guess. So I'm going to try and, if we could just finish, come on. If we could just finish digging out this one little patch down here, fill up this dump truck, we'll take it back to the wash plant. That should get our mats at like 100%, if not very, very close. And then we'll do a cleanup and we'll see what kind of gold we capture. I'm hoping that with the amount of gold that's down here and the rate that we're able to capture it at, so it's like around like between 5 and 6 ounces per meters cubed down here. I'm hoping there's enough gold we can capture down here that we might be able to buy off the Nighthawk claim, so we don't have to pay that awful 45% royalty anymore. We're just sort of crushing our gold totals. Even though we might pull a lot out of the ground, when you're giving almost half of it back to the claim owner, yeah, you're not really getting ahead too quickly. Which is funny when you consider, you look at Gold Rush the show, which this game is based off of. Parker Schnabel was paying a gold royalty to Tony Beats of like 20%, tearing up to 25% based on how much he had gotten out, and everyone was saying that that amount was outrageous, and here we are paying 45%. I feel like our character did not do a very good job at contract negotiations. But nevertheless, we have gotten a decent amount of gold out of here so far, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. Make ourselves super wealthy. Okay, we can see at the top of the conveyor system now the last of the dirt has already been dumped into the wash plant. It's going to finish processing through with the shutdown. Actually, some of the mats got close to 199%. There's some 98, 97 in there. So we didn't exactly max it out entirely. However, if we got everything to 100%, we would have wasted gold because they could only capture so much, and there's a certain amount that would just like wash past. But let's get everything turned off. We're going to need a couple of buckets of water in order to clean up the mats. And we'll also need to just, well, I mean, the buckets that are sitting down below the little jigs there, we can just kind of pick those up at least. Come on, I'm stuck on the machine. Got stuck on the machine there. Couldn't step in. Okay, that's all shut down. Man, it's so much quieter when that turns off. It's always such a relief when I turn the machines off. We get that a little bit of deafening quiet. Okay, so I don't have any buckets in here. We're going to need some of those. I don't think I left any over by the wash plant here. We'll take a look on the way by, and if not, we'll have to just cruise up quickly to our wash station. Oh, I did leave some buckets. Nice. What are the odds I left ones with water in them? Ah, that's amazing. Okay, so I do have buckets full of water. That's sweet. Okay, I thought I was going to have to do a little more grunt work to get this all ready. But I took care of it last time. Okay, so that's one from the... yeah, you just roll over there. It's nice that these things defy gravity. When they tip, they don't actually lose anything. Because I could never keep them upright. You know what? I'll put both of these and try to get these in the same general area. Move our gas can out of here. You get out of there. Try to put these by this back corner, maybe. Well, that didn't work. There we go. Okay, so if we have those there, at least I can know which ones came out of the fancy jig type thingies. Can't remember what they're called. There's something else. They're not the jigs. They're, okay, we'll get our little racks off of here. This will let us get to the mats. Just gotta throw them all down. We don't have to wash them anyway. There's another 3 left. There is a bit of a bug with one of these mats. When you take it off, it tends to fall through the chute, so we'll see what happens. Right through the sluice box. There we go. Maybe it's the other sluice box I'm thinking of. I think it's the one on the other sluice box. When you take the top one out, it goes like through the sluice box. Sits underneath it, which is kind of a nuisance. Okay, so I think we can get, I don't know, 3 or 4 mats washed per bucket before it's considered too dirty to wash anymore. Each mat we only have to dip once, which is good. So this won't take too long. Once we get these all cleaned out, then we'll get them hauled up to the our little gold table, and we'll see what we can find. All right, we have a lot of buckets up here. Okay, make sure this is all set up. It should be ready to run. Where's my handle on this thing? I forget. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, that's going. Power on our generator. Wash table's running. Great. Okay, so let's try first with the buckets we got from the jig. So we have, say, call it 13 ounces of gold right now. We'll see how much we get out of these. Oh, good lord. That was one bucket. We went from 13 ounces of gold to 161 ounces. These things are just chock full of gold. And the mats are almost bound to be better. So, I mean, that was already 150 ounces just about there worth of gold in one bucket. This should carry us up over 300 with that second bucket. That is amazing. A couple of mat cleanups, and we're going to have a serious amount of gold to go sell. I still don't know if it's going to be enough. We have to get to like $2.5 million to buy the claim. So we might have to do further cleanups, but wow, 311 ounces. So that's almost 300 ounces of gold in the 2 buckets. This is our first one from the mats. So we're at 311 now. Let's see how this carries us. All right, 390. 400. Oh my gosh. Wow. So more than 100 ounces in that bucket as well. It's still going. 470, 480. Man, we're going to be pushing 1,000 ounces. This is amazing. So that's 500 ounces of gold in 3 buckets. I mean, less than 13 that was there when we started. All right, we processed all of the buckets of gold, and we have 881.84 ounces. That is a crazy amount of gold for just 5 buckets. So out of that, we got 867 ounces worth of gold. Maybe 868 ounces worth of gold out of just 5 buckets of concentrate. That's pretty sweet. If we can keep mining that really rich stuff, we're going to be in really good shape. Let's go to town with our holdings here. We'll get this melted down, and we'll see what our sell value is of this stuff, and then how far off we'll be from just buying out the claim outright. I don't think, I mean, I could get another wash plant piece, because there's like a different wash deck we can get. But I think we'll hold off for now. I really want to save up the gold to try to pay off the claim and get rid of that horrible royalty we have to pay on all the gold we're pulling out. All right, we have our massive bar melted down. 824 ounces is what we end up with at the end. Oh man, that thing's huge. After we did lose a little bit of gold in the smelting process, but let's go see if we can sell this at the bank, find out how much it's worth. We have $26,387 in our account right now, and it's going down. I guess because we must be paying our workers who are continuing to harvest some gold up for us. Not a really high rate. I mean, I'd like to get some more workers, but something's better than nothing, I guess. Here we are at the bank. All right, what kind of a price are we going to get for this? And how much do I have left on the loan? I mean, I can't even remember. All right, old armor parcel is rented. We don't want to buy that, but let's go to sell gold bars. $963,399. So that is definitely my largest single cleanup. But it's not the largest bar of gold I've sold. I think I had a 1,000-ounce bar at one point that I saved up for, so that doesn't even quite get us to $1 million, which is definitely not going to be enough to buy the Nighthawk Valley. We need $2.4 million for this. We're renting it for $800,000. That's a serious amount of rent. And then in terms of loans taken, we have this fancy loan of $995,000. So we're actually just shy of even being able to pay off our loan. Man, gotta keep digging. We need more gold. More gold. It takes a long time to dig, though. So by the time we get back there and dig up enough to fill up the wash plant again, it's a pretty serious amount of time. I think each time I've filled up the wash plant, it's cost me something in the neighborhood of about an hour's worth of digging and dumping. So yeah, over time that really adds up. It took a pretty monumental amount of digging, but I finally got to the point where I think we have almost enough gold to be able to buy out the Nighthawk parcel. So I think 2 additional cleanouts in order to get gold. The hard part is that I'm giving up 45% of everything I bring in, which makes it really hard to kind of get to that 2.4 million that we need. But we have 435,000 in cash already. I have 1,155 ounces of gold that we've already cleaned up, and we've already paid the royalty on it, so that's free and clear. And then this is the last truckload until we'll have another cleanup ready to go. Now the cleanup I did just before this one was huge. It was almost 1,300 ounces, I think, in a single cleanup, which was just massive. So I'm kind of hoping that even if we can get somewhere in the neighborhood of 900 ounces or so, 800 ounces out of this next cleanup, that should give us enough with the cash we already have and what we can sell that gold for to be able to get the 2.4 million we need to pay off the Nighthawk parcel. And then I'm just going to have to pray that they're not still going to charge me the royalty on the money I've already taken out of the ground. Because if so, we're going to go steeply into the negative and lose all of our employees again, which has already happened once early in this playthrough. I'm still recovering. I think I only have something like half a dozen employees now, because it's just been a really slow process. For whatever reason, there haven't been that many of them coming up. But the truck's at 60%, but you can see here how much we've dug out in order to get those cleanups that we needed. And this was definitely the rich gold area. So this patch in here is what we've been working on, and you can see that we've pretty much cleaned this stuff out. Now I'm on kind of digging on the edge here. There's still like 0.6 meters there, but that's just like the dredge left there. So we're kind of sort of working on 287, 286 sort of an area now. Tiny bit in 288, but there's nothing really there. That's right against the surface edge there. So basically 286 and 287 is what we're cleaning up. We still have lots of gold patches out here we can work on too to do some additional digging later, but for now, this has produced a pretty decent amount of gold for us, and I'm really hoping it's going to give us exactly what we need to be able to buy out this parcel. I can't pay that 45% royalty anymore. It's just too crazy. All right, the truck is full. We're ready to dump this. Like I said, this should get us to 100% on the mats and the buckets and everything on the wash plant. So we'll go dump this in and see where that puts us. I really hope this kind of caps us up. But even if it doesn't get us exactly to 100, it should get us close enough. So we'll call it a day and get the cleanup done. It's been hours worth of digging. Like, it takes a very long time to get a cleanup done in this particular wash plant. So I think it's somewhere around 10 or 12 dump truck loads you have to take to this in order to get 100% in the mats, which takes a fair amount of time. I really would like to make use of the Frankenstein to see if we can speed that process up, but I can't really where I am out so that deep into the claim. It's too far. The Frankenstein's not big enough. But there are a couple patches that we expose that are a little bit closer to the wash plant that I'm kind of hoping we can get set up in a way where I could just dig the gold, dump it in the Frankenstein, and have it go straight into the wash plant, which would save us probably a lot of time, because all the back and forth with the dump truck, well, you know, much more convenient than driving the front end loader over, it's still very time consuming. Alright, the mats have been cleaned up. We have our 5 buckets of concentrate in the back of the truck. Hopefully, this will give me all the gold that I need. So we're looking for, we're just shy of 1,200 ounces. So I think what we want to see is probably about 800 ounces out of this cleanup. And if we can get that at least, then we'll be in good shape. What happened there? Uh-oh. I think I must have left those things running at some point, and I used up all the fuel. Hold on. Where's that fuel can? Come on, I'm like right above it. There we go. All right, let's refill this since I apparently don't know how to turn things off anymore. Let's grab that and this. Okay, that's better. Wasted a little fuel, but that's okay. At least we have enough fuel to make this thing run, and I didn't have to go running around trying to get some. All right, that's ready to go. Let's get a bucket in here. All right, so let's say 1,155 ounces, so I actually need maybe about 850 ounces. But we want to get that number to at least 2,000 ounces by the end of this cleanup. So as luck would have it, I'm mildly incompetent and dumped an extra bucket of pay dirt into the wavetable before our bucket had finished, and I don't think it processed it. It basically said, like, you've already got dirt in the wavetable, and it says you're losing pay dirt, which is no good because it gave me the, like, all finished sign awfully quick after I did that. So I think I might have lost. This is the last bucket. We're at 1,859 ounces. This bucket has to have more than 140 ounces in it. And the tricky part here is that when we go and do the smelting for the gold bar, we're going to lose some of the gold as well. So let's see where this finishes out. 1960, 1980, 1995. Okay, we cleared 2,000. We cleared 2,000 ounces. All right, sweet. Man, it's still going up. 2,100? Holy. That was a rich bucket there. 2,111 ounces, and I feel like we would have gotten more if I hadn't messed up and dumped that extra bucket of pay dirt in there. Okay, so we started around 1155. We ended up at 2111, so we had almost 1,000 ounces in there, and that was with one bucket that I don't think got processed, so pretty sweet overall. Let's head into town. We'll hit up the blacksmith, get all this gold smelted into bars. I wonder if it'll give me one bar that's like 2,000 ounces, or it'll give me like 2,000 ounce bars. I'm not sure how that'll work. Nevertheless, we'll see what this gets us, and we'll take it to the bank, find out how much we can sell it for. I really hope the gold price is over $1,000 an ounce. If it is, we could be in good shape to buy ourselves our very own claim. All right, we're at the bank. It's the moment of truth. Let's see how much money we have here in gold. Now, as it turns out, you can't get a 2,000 ounce bar. You just get two of these 1,000 ounce bars, and they're huge. Well, actually, 999 ounces. It doesn't give you an exact 1,000, but so I've got two of those giant bars, and there's one wee little bitty bar that was like 100 and some odd ounces. But nevertheless, let's see how much we can sell these for. Now, I really need the gold price to be over $1,000 an ounce right now. I thought I had somewhere on here what gold prices were looking like, but oh, there's a stock. Oh, $1,210. Yes. All right, so I think we'll be in good shape. So we have $1,101,000 for the first bar, the second bar, another $122,000 for the third bar, putting us at $2.74 million, and enough to buy out the parcel. Okay, so if we go back here to the Nighthawk parcel, we have it rented now, but for $2.4 million, we could buy it. Let's buy this thing. Yes! $340,127 is what we have left over. And that feels pretty sweet. We no longer have to pay a 45% royalty on all the gold we take out of the ground. Now, I have no idea what's going to happen when nighttime rolls over. I may still have to pay the royalty on the gold we already took, because I'm pretty sure the game's not going to let me buy the property with a portion of gold that was supposed to go to the royalty, but we'll find out. I have $340,000 left. That's not nearly going to cover the $2 million worth of gold that I took out of the ground. I mean, we need at least like $900,000. So I think we're going to go steeply in the negative. But we have a hope and a prayer. We have fuel for our vehicles. We have all the equipment in place already. We own the parcel, so we don't have to pay that the rental premium anymore. Oh, man. I got to learn how to drive. So no more rental royalty, and things will be in good shape. But I'm going to head back to the claim. We can do some more gold mining and put some gold in our pocket where we're no longer paying for that royalty, which means we'll earn money much faster. Thanks everyone for coming to check out the video. Do hope you enjoy these and come back and check out some more. I'm really looking forward to seeing whether they put out some further updates for the game, and if there's a bit more that we can get to do here, because now that we own the now that we own that parcel, it's just going to be a matter of pulling the gold out of the ground and getting rich. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.